The start line of an ultramarathon is special. Usually the location is underwhelming, lacking the fanfare of major city marathons. A few hundred people stand around in a field, each carrying their survival gear, water, food essentials. Each has spent months, if not years, training for this event, each waiting to run a distance that most people consider a long drive. For some it's the event of a lifetime, for many it's just another to the pile. There is this feeling of positive anticipation that something special is going to happen. It is a truly special place, and yet few people know what an ultramarathon is or what it's like. But marathons are different. Everyone's aware of marathons. They've either run one, know somebody who has, or they've watched one. Growing up, everyone spoke about the marathon as this impossible thing, the ultimate challenge, the physical test of a lifetime. I was at school when Paula Radcliffe broke the marathon world record. A record that stood for 16 years. 2 hours, 15 minutes, 25 seconds. I was 11 at the time, and it was everywhere. TV, radio, the news. It was hard not to be aware of the marathon. My first exposure to the marathon was when we travelled to London. We volunteered to hand out water during the race. We stood at the 5k mark, and many were already struggling. They were clearly in pain, but they had this look of fierce determination. I decided back then that I would run a marathon. I said it with the kind of conviction where you know it will happen. I didn't know how or when, but I just knew. And I'd tell people this, and I knew they didn't believe me. But that almost motivated me more than anything. It took me until the age of 26. In a hotel in Glasgow, at a pre-work breakfast with Richard, he'd got me into running 2 months earlier, and he suggested I run a marathon, and that was it. I signed up. My journey into running involved a lot of research, trawling through YouTube, and then I found Billy Yang and his experience running 100 miles. I couldn't believe that people could run that far. I quickly fell into the rabbit hole. Billy Yang, Run Steep Get High, Ginger Runner. The ultramarathon has this mysticism, people running for 6, 10, 24 hours for days. I couldn't even understand how that was possible. And yet, race day was fast approaching, my first marathon. Arriving at a large city marathon is best described as organised chaos. Thousands of people rushing to use portaloos, music blaring, organisers attempting to shepherd the crowds, and then you're off. And for the next 42 kilometres you're surrounded by runners and constantly cheered on. It's like a carnival where you're the main attraction. It's an amazing experience, but it's intense. The last 10k are brutal. Everything hurts. You want to slow, but you also want to hit your time goal. The supporters are still there cheering you to keep going, and then you hit the finish line and it's over. Instant relief. You're corralled through, you get your medal, your bag, and then you're out, off to find family and friends. There's this mechanical efficiency. It's over before you know it. 4 or 5 hours of running and then you're done. It's exhausting and everything hurts. The marathon is like a roller coaster. You're nervous, it's chaos, you feel great, and then you think you're dying. The crowd's cheered, pushed through, you cross the line and you can't stop smiling. Then you realise you can't walk normally and you're done. The ultramarathon is different. You arrive at some nondescript location, a town hall, a sports centre, a school. A few hundred people stand around chatting. It's a bit chaotic, but not overwhelmingly so. The start is busy. Everyone waits in anticipation, some nervousness, but most are just itching to get going. It has the feel of a local park run. Within minutes of starting, you're alone, running on beautiful trails. There's no rush or urgency. Endurance is the goal, survival. You plod along, enjoying the environment, experiencing the day. You get talking to other runners, you get a window into their mindset. Some are pushing for time, some are experiencing runners' highs, whilst others are going through lows. You hear about their lives, talk about their experience, from experts to first-timers. And the aid stations are amazing. Volunteers standing in the middle of nowhere, helping you refill water bottles and giving you much-needed food. At the finish line, everyone looks broken, wrecked, but happy about it. A smile even from those suffering the worst. There is nothing insignificant about this achievement, and watching people complete an ultra is special. The ultramarathon is more of an adventure than a roller coaster. Yes, there are highs and lows, but you have time to soak up and enjoy the experience. This is a small fringe sport, but it's growing. Only 1 or 2 ultras attract the crowds that most big city marathons attract. Most ultras are small local affairs, but those who partake, whether running, volunteering, spectating or crewing, recognise it's a special experience. These people are passionate about a sport that breaks people down, challenging them to run further, to run over mountains and through extreme conditions. Not everyone will run a 100-mile race in their life. Most won't. But everyone can experience their local 50k. Through their own running or supporting others, the experience is pretty rewarding.
Oh, we're here on the track. 400